I studied Martin Luther King when I was in high school, and I still continue to study him a lot, along with Gandhi, JFK, Nelson Mandela, right? And so liberalism, let me get my notebook real fast. This is from when I was 17, bro. Like, I'm 25. This is 8 years ago I was writing this. Let me turn my light on. Let me get my notebook real fast. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
I should be live on YouTube right now.
Okay, I'll hop on my Xbox and
see what's going on here.
Yeah, so like I gotta move some things out of my way here. This is, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get anybody to watch it, but I'll send a link out to everybody.
Well,
This is not going to be a very long live stream.
It's recorded and it's a video that stays on the
Supposed to
internet.
be
Yeah.
supposed to take a day off today.
Right, yeah,
Just want to stay
exactly. As long as they
inside,
can
do
watch it
nothing.
and actually see what's happening. So not like he's moving down
But then I heard about
around.
police heading over here, like lots of them.
Okay.
There's police headed
I
everywhere.
responded by stepping out
Are you
and
recording
coming out
your
here.
face on voice
So
Yes, oh yeah.
thank you for tuning
Oh, yeah.
in.
Because
Am I on a speaker there?
yeah, you might be. No, nobody can.
I'm gonna read you something that I wrote and I did some research on. This is 2014, okay?
All right.
It says Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, having been raised in a rather strict fundamentalist tradition, I was occasionally shocked as my intellectual journey carried me through new and sometimes complex and doctrinal lands. But despite the shock, the pilgrimage was always stimulating, and it gave me a new appreciation for objective appraisal and critical analysis. At this stage of my development, I was a thoroughgoing liberal. Liberalism provided me with an intellectual satisfaction that I could never find in fundamentalism. I became so enamored of the insights of liberalism that I almost fell into the trap of accepting uncritically everything that came under its name. I was absolutely convinced of the natural goodness of man and the natural power of human reason.
See what it looks like on Family Parkway. Again,
Again,
I apologize. No gimbal right now.
Theology.
Gimbal is
He,
unserviceable
quote, to
at the
cherish
moment.
always, end quote, one phase of liberalism, which includes its devotion
So
to
I'm trying my
search
best
for
to do this
truth,
by hand.
its insistence on an open and analytic mind, its refusal to abandon the best reason of life. He said, quote, I come to feel that liberalism has been all too sentimental concerning human nature.
Another
and that
beautiful
it leans
sunset.
toward a false idealism, end quote. Man, he said reason devoid of
I apologize, guys. I
power
cannot read the
of
super
faith
chats
can
right
never
now.
free itself from distortions and rationalizations. MLK was
They are very much
talking about
appreciated.
sin, how it
Please know that.
darkens reason, specifically human reason. He said we have a tragic inclination for sin, and it, quote, causes us to use our minds to rationalize our actions, end quote. When people are confronted with evidence or facts or any undeniable truths, they go through an uncomfortable feeling the brain doesn't know how to deal with. The only thing we naturally do is try to rationalize, dispute, and sometimes deny these truths or anything else that may conflict with
So they
these
basically
beliefs
just got
based ideas. This is called cognitive
this part of Coventry
dissonance.
blocked
I
off.
believe
Yeah.
the natural skepticism of anything, conflicting core beliefs is a sign of a lost use of it. We tend to openly accept news on television, orders from our bosses. Don't question authority, and don't try to act on things you find questionable. Just follow the rules and your duty within your guidelines. And then, so from that, I reread that for whatever reason, like 2 days ago. I don't know what made me pick up my journal from high school and read that. But then I started thinking about liberalism. Wow, they're painting a picture on TV, on CNN, MSNBC, all these things, that liberalism.
See if we can walk around the hotel and
tree-hugging,
get a different vantage point.
sheep-loving, animal-feeding,
Thank you all for tuning in.
babies who love.
This is Ottawalks, and we're here in East Ottawa live. Day 24 of the
Absolutely.
protest.
Absolutely. Dude, the FBI tried to set up MLK many times.
Oh, it was proven in a silver court in 1999 that he was murdered by the U.S. government.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Did
Like
you
to walk
see
around
the way these
the
so-called
hotel
police were treating these people?
and see if we
They're
can see
carrying them
anything
away. 4 cops to 1 person would pick them up, drag
from
them
the other
away.
side.
One was getting beat with a rifle. 2 more got trampled by the by the horses, and then another one was getting kneed and kicked in the
Here comes
face
some
while he was
vehicles that are
being held
towed
down.
right now.
And
they were using those really loud.
the LRAD,
Accompanied by
the
police.
long range acoustic devices. Yeah, they were using those. And so right now, what's on the screen is these tow trucks are all their markings have been blacked out or been taped over, and the tow truck drivers all have face masks on, so you cannot identify them. There's something big going on in Canada
Actually, I may
right
not be
now,
able to get
and
there.
it's not just
Behind this hotel
it's not
without
just
trespassing.
the vaccine
so
mandate and
I'm not
and
gonna
the
do that.
passport. Their narrative is falling.
Dude, that gives me cold chills.
Yeah.
You guys are just tuning in. I apologize. My gimbal is
No,
unserviceable.
and now what they're
I'm having
saying is
issues with
either
it,
they're going to stop the
but
trucks
Decided
here.
to go live anyway.
or they're all headed to DC. I'm on the fence about going to DC. I want to go. I want to be a part of history because
So if you guys know, this
we
won't be a
need to
very
stand up for
long
ourselves. This
stream.
we need to stand up.
I've been thinking a lot about
Just gonna head back.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even need
And
to
then cut it off.
Good. Right.
Just want to let you guys know that this is currently taking place here at 302 Coventry.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the fourth day, they're going to be calling every fucking representative and congressman they can to tell them to stop the mandate because we need our truckers
They are
to deliver our goods.
moving
Yes.
the trucks.
Yeah, people don't
As we
realize the
speak.
truckers run. They are the blood in the veins. They are the ones that move
Yeah.
things around. It's
People don't
The
understand,
cruisers
like,
here.
you don't even have to spend a
Few
dime on
officers
diesel
here.
Nope.
to get your narrative to go through. We just have to collectively decide that we want to save some money and be with our children and families for like 3 days.
yeah. Oh, I don't know what
I
that
mean,
was.
dude, like, speaking of, you know what that's called? It's called nonviolent direct action.
They're
That is what MLK
nonviolent
was all
civil
about.
disobedience as well.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, though. Nonviolent direct
Yeah.
action against conformity.
Yep, and everything that I've seen with these Canadian truckers,
All right.
not one of them has had anything to do with any sort of violence. The only people that have been the aggressors have been these Gestapo police. You can't even call them police because the United Nations came and flew in. It's them. And
Yeah.
their planes are
I'll
in
tell you,
Ottawa
when they do that,
right now.
they're
I was
gonna
looking
have
up their flight logs.
Dude, like, there's going to be ex-servicemen, there's going to be veterans. Bro, 80% of our military wouldn't stand up to that bullshit.
Yeah. And this,
America, no, you don't. America's a different beast.
yeah, and we have weapons. These guys don't have weapons.
Oh, here comes some more.
And we just don't care.
Yeah.
We dropped 2 nukes, motherfuckers. Like, I don't remember who the fuck we are.
They're just towing the
Exactly.
small vehicles, though.
We separated hydrogen atoms because we were tired of the bullshit.
I don't know what they're towing right now. I don't know if you're. I don't know. Somebody's
Oh, yeah,
watching.
by the way,
But,
I started a new YouTube channel
Oh,
just in case something happens to this one.
I'll let this guy go for a second.
It
because
is
I am
Agent
restreaming
613. Agent 613.
him.
That
Agent
is my
613.
secondary
Go follow
YouTube.
him. That's
Started
Ottawa.
it just in case anything happens to this and I won't be able to go live.
It's just.
At least I have
Dude,
a
if I was
backup.
wealthy and I have money right now, I wouldn't even be home.
Agent
I'd be in Ottawa.
613.
I don't want to go to Canada.
All lowercase.
I used to go to Canada a lot when I was a kid.
letters. 1, 2, or
You know,
613.
I'm just saying,
19, 20 years
for the
old.
simple fact that, like, I'd be documenting everything.
So please
low-key
go
as fuck.
give that
Oh yeah,
channel a
and,
sub.
and that's what this guy does. This
Or
guy
not.
used to
That's
just
your
walk
choice.
around Ottawa. You know, nobody would watch his channel, and then all of this sudden this happens, and he's got to keep reiterating. He's like, "I'm just a walking channel. I just walk around. That's what I do. I walk around Ottawa, and I
Wow.
videotape it." And now that's what he's doing. So now he's coming up to some intersection, and like the police won't let them go into certain areas. They're not allowed to go anywhere anymore. And oh, here comes some more trucks.
That's kind of weird because to me that sounds like they're building a base.
They're doing something. Oh, this one actually had a marking on it. We couldn't really tell what it was. There's like independent contractors. First of all, I can't believe any of these tow truck drivers are doing this. Unless the government is like threatening their families to come do it, or they commandeered them and they're doing it themselves.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they just went and took them and said, "No, we're going to do it ourselves."
So I mean, if they can shut down people's banks, of course they can say, "Hey, look, we're taking these trucks."
Yeah, that's the funny part is they were talking about shutting. Oh, they just took someone's Winnebago, and they're wearing masks. They're all masked up. It's just like I was watching earlier today, Salty Cracker, and he was talking about, like the government's trying to take their crypto, and like these exchanges are like, no, no, we're not gonna do that. So they can't take your crypto, which is awesome. That's why everybody, I don't know who's watching right now, go buy crypto. Go buy some Bitcoin.
They're not pointing at me.
Do it. Because your bank
at me.
account can be shut down at any given time. Just because you think wrong. That's messed up. That is messed up.
What?
Just
I know
because
it's
you
about the
don't
smile.
go along with what they say and
Alright.
what they've been
gonna
telling
stop.
you for the last
cameras here.
however long. I can go all the way
the
back to
access,
Waco.
and just
All the way
a
back to
normal guy
Waco.
with a
In my
phone.
lifetime, that has been a lie. Everything the mainstream media has been telling you is a lie. And that is the craziest
again,
part
I don't
about
have
it.
my gimbal.
Because we've been
It
going
is, not
along,
working
and
at the moment.
everything that we know is a
So we are
goddamn
doing
lie.
this by hand.
Yeah.
Everything.
I
There's
apologize.
a reality that's contained.
Yeah,
This is below my
they've created
standards
this reality.
for my
the,
channel.
the media, but
But,
they didn't anticipate all this technology
It's the best I can
coming
do right
in
at the moment,
and
so.
all these people with live streams actually showing what's happening. But when you got people saying, "Oh no, all the truckers left and they didn't win," they haven't gone anywhere.
One of these
They've
guys just
gone
went on the road to pick up a
nowhere.
piece of
but
garbage.
they've gone
It's very nice of them.
into the city of Ottawa now. Now they're in residential streets. Instead of sitting in front of Parliament, instead of sitting in front of the Capitol building, they're on residential streets honking their horns now, trying to wake people up. And that's what needs to happen. They're in a parking lot. They're taking everything out of this Marriott. There you go. Marriott aiding and abetting truckers. And there's cops everywhere in this parking lot. It looks like there's some sort of football stadium next to them. I'm not sure what that is, if it's like a high school or something. But these cops are everywhere, about to be pulling out all these cars. And, like, they won't let them go in. This drone has been following this dude the entire time. So there's a drone there watching
Guys,
these
This won't
people.
be a very long live
Like,
stream.
This isn't good.
I was intending on staying home all day and doing nothing. Then I heard about some
that's-
police
you know what that
making a
reminds me
move
of?
here at 302 Coventry,
Game,
and
Watch Dogs.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
decided to come out.
They go through and they can hack everything. So I'm
Apologize
surprised
again
they haven't
for
shut down
the,
phones
lack
yet.
of Gimbal.
They were doing it yesterday in the
If they do
morning.
that, then people are really gonna
Yeah, well, yesterday in the morning they were doing that
panic, bro.
with that LRAD that LRAD device that they had. They were shutting down phones with it. They were forcing people down the street and shutting down their phones. And then yesterday I thought was going to get real hyped up because there was a lot of people in like this small crowd, and then they fenced them all in.
All right.
And some of the people were getting a little amped. But most of them were just out there having a good time. Yeah, get out of the way. Somebody was walking in the way. But I'm telling you what,
That
man,
is
go
pretty much
stock
all I'm
up
gonna
on
show
some
you.
water, go stock up on
We're
some box food, get some canned
doing-
food,
Yeah.
because you ain't gonna be able to get it. Ain't gonna be able. I've been trying to warn people about
trucks.
this for a long time, and everybody looks at me like I'm insane.
I may
Like,
try to
I'm
walk around
I'm not
this
the one that's
baseball
insane.
diamond
I'm
and
just
see if we
trying
can
to
catch
get the
view
word
from the
out.
other side.
But when you're the first one to get the word
You wanna
out,
stick around
and then
for
you
that.
got NBC and
Shout out to the other
CNN
live streamers
telling
that are
other
downtown
lies,
today.
and people are sitting there
Or at the
believing
War
that, and then they're
Museum.
mad at Joe Rogan because he's
I'm
just
being lazy.
talking
I
to
didn't want to
people.
go all the way out there.
That's what.
He's
I just want to stay in and do
Yeah,
nothing.
and that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do as a society. Is just
So big
talk.
shout outs to them.
If we talk to our neighbors and find
So
out,
Adam
hey,
Nucci was
what's
on
going
over there.
on? What
Big
is
shout out
what,
to him.
what are you thinking? Like,
Who
what
else?
do
Who
you
else?
watch? Like, tell me your
Quota B,
reality.
1, 2, 3.
That's what we need to do.
Sorry,
We
it was
need
on
to talk
earlier.
to our neighbors and ask them
We
what
need to
their
understand each other.
yeah. We need to understand
Hope you guys are
what
doing well.
each other is thinking.
Everyone
and
in the
then
chat.
people like me need to sit them down
very
and
much
say,
for
"Here,
joining.
look at this. What these people in these suits are telling you
I am going to
is
wow,
insane.
thank you. That is
it's
unnecessary.
an absolute
but
false reality
much appreciated.
that
Thank you.
only
Sorry, I
softheads
can't
believe
check
in.
that right
I don't have other word
but I will
for
go
them
back
other
and
than
read
a
all
soft
the
head.
super chats. when I
You
get
push on
to my
the
computer.
skull a little bit, and it's going to indent because they
Wanna
got
remind you guys
nothing
again?
in there. It's all mush.
I started a secondary YouTube.
But I mean,
It is
I started getting in all
Agent
this stuff when I
613.
started school.
that is
and
Agent 613, all lowercase,
it's-
no spaces.
Like I started
Agent
looking in all of it,
613.
started doing research in it, and then I found out about the World
And
Economic
that's a big
Forum
shout out to you
and
trolls
Klaus
out
Schwab,
there.
and you'll own nothing and you'll be happy and you'll have no privacy. That
These guys
I
are
can't live in a
special
world like
press
that.
dominance.
I really can't.
Well, I'm gonna just walk around the baseball stadium. There's no one telling me I can't.
Let me find it. Hold on.
So we're just gonna do that.
This is big stuff, man.
You listening to Klaus?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's all types of.
I have failed.
Of things that
Candace,
he's been
thank you.
saying,
I have
and
failed to put
He
the,
is a monster.
link
Him.
for my
Bill
secondary
Gates,
channel.
all of
description,
these
but
elite
I've made a
people.
community
Occupy
post
Wall
about it.
Street. I wish
And the new link should be
I would have
working.
paid more attention to Occupy
I
Wall
know it's
Street.
getting
I wish I would
comments
have.
about it not working. It should be working
Occupy
now.
Wall Street was like
So please
I
go
remember
back and
it
check that
quite
comment.
clearly, and everybody I was like, who are these dirty hippies sitting in New
That
York
is
City,
my secondary
just sitting in a
YouTube.
park, just trying to occupy
No capital
but that whole
agent.
Occupy
There's a
movement was a
real estate
big
guy
deal,
there, but,
and that really threw a wrench in all these people's plans.
Obviously not me.
And now
Oh, I do see
that's
two
what they're
cruisers
doing.
up
They're
ahead, so they
occupying
may not
Ottawa.
allow me to
They're
go.
occupying Quebec. They're occupying
But we'll find out. We'll
Calgary
have
and
to try.
Edmonton right now. They tried to occupy all the main, huh?
Thank you all for tuning
I
in.
want to buy and actually read it.
Yeah.
It's called The End of Protest.
Thank you for those
A
super
New
chats.
Playbook for
Very much
Revolution
appreciated.
by a gentleman named Michael White.
End of protest.
I want to
Michael
remind you all
White.
that I do
I'm gonna
not
write that down.
have
The End of Protest.
Twitter.
On the front it says
I do not use Twitter.
Radically
The Ottawa Walks on there is not me. I have zero
protest
affiliation with them
among the
whatsoever.
greatest forces ever to shape history.
I do, however, have
Protest culture just as jaded
Facebook and Instagram.
as the structures it seeks to overthrow,
And
as desperately
I
in need
have-
of, quote, ruthless innovation.
What else do I have?
Many books tell us why we should
Got a
protest.
TikTok, but I don't really use it
Tells us
often.
How?
Yeah, and that's what we need to know is how do we
Oh,
protest?
no, these police are on the
Yes,
highway,
because
so
Occupy Wall Street, they were setting up,
we're good to continue.
free speech zones.
Yes.
If you were to if you were to apply your constitutional rights outside of.
If you're wondering what bridge this is, it is the Max Keeping Bridge.
Yep. Yep.
It
And,
allows you to cross
I don't know if you
from
know who Luke Rudkowski
Vanier
is
Parkway
and Tim Pool,
to
but they were there. They were some of the first
Tremblay,
ones there. They were some of the first ones to
train
actually
station.
live stream that stuff.
And you walk over the
And-
417
and,
highway.
Tim Pool was down in there in
It's, one
the
of our
middle
busiest
of
highways
it,
here in Ottawa.
and he said the whole thing that sparked like the end
Again,
of it
I
was a cop
apologize
just
for
went
the
up
shaky
to a
camera.
random girl
My
sitting
gimbal
and
is
sprayed her in the
unserviceable
face
at the
with
moment.
mace, and that's what set the crowd off, and that's what allowed the cops to come in and take everybody out. The
So I'm not
cops
sure
did
what
it.
we're going to see up
Yeah, the
ahead.
cops started it, yeah.
And the cops started
Probably
it
not
here
much,
too.
but at least you tried.
And
This, I had,
Please
I
bear
had
with me.
highlighted some things in this book. It says the only way to really know for sure what causes a social revolution to succeed is to provoke events and watch them flicker, fade, or ignite.
I know you expect
I'm gonna see if I can find another
smooth like imagery from me.
another
But I don't know what's going
protest
on.
or another
The
streamer.
gimbal. I think I abused it too hard in the last 24 days.
There will be no democracy.
I'm gonna have to close my window and turn my light on.
Someone's saying I need a bicycle. I do have a bicycle. I'm just not going to bike in the wintertime. I think that's crazy. I don't want to die out here.
That's better lighting. I'm sorry.
There's ice all over. I don't know how other people drive.
I'm trying to hear you. All right.
It's
I
just
just.
not a good
Oh no.
idea.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
The good old J.F. Kennedy, John F. Kennedy.
All right, so we're coming around back,
Those who make peaceful
and there's no one
revolution
stopping me
impossible
from coming here, so we're
will
good.
make violent revolution
Inevitable. Yes.
I did not
Yes.
disobey any orders from the police.
Yeah. That one. That one I've
I
heard
am just
a
a
few
guy
times.
with a camera,
More than a few times.
and I broadcast my city and other places for the world to see. I am just a regular guy with a camera.
By attacking the disease
This is a walking channel.
that lies behind them rather than suppressing its symptoms.
You can probably just like show up in the middle, and they're gonna ask, "How do I
this
get
stuff's
here?"
gonna get wild.
And then they'll kick me out. But let's see.
Oh, my man. Oh, it's a baseball field.
They're trying to do anything I'm filming.
Oh.
Because crowd psychology is a blind force, like steam and other physical forces. It can be utilized for creating a tremendous amount of power. If the crowd is steam powered, the internet-enabled social movement is nuclear energy.
Probably not gonna get too close.
The challenge is how to harness this explosive
But,
potential for positive ends.
That's pretty much it.
It's just. Ooh, man.
A national war effort can be understood as a movement phenomenon in which the elite mobilizes a large portion of its population, exciting them.
You guys are curious why I have a backup channel, just in case.
De-routinizing.
Just in case.
Taking people out of the routine.
Yeah.
De-routinizing.
It's always good to have a secondary channel.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're
I
right.
was advised by a good OG
I wanted to watch
YouTuber.
this that one's
So-
not right. This Freedom Convoy 2022 isn't. That's
I
not
followed
live.
his instructions. Hey, thank you for that.
They're showing like footage from yesterday.
Please check my community tab. The
Revolution
link
a
is
grand
in the last
overturn,
post.
a magical moment when
Revolution's
Should be
coming.
working now.
for a new way of being to emerge.
Revolution is coming. It's not going to be shown on your magic box. It's not going to be shown on these mainstream
that's a
media
hotel.
things. They're going to tell you that it's not happening.
Here's a baseball stadium.
And
This
but it is. It absolutely is.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s tactics of civil disobedience against racial segregation, for example,
I'm just gonna
were
follow that lady.
equated with high crimes.
If they don't bother her, they
Even
won't bother
moderate,
me.
non-racist
Hopefully.
whites at the time condemned King's novel tactics.
And then I'll just end the live
For
stream.
protesting against racial segregation, King eloquently defended his nonviolent methods in letter from a Birmingham jail. Asked to explain how he could justify breaking the law, King distinguished between just laws that must be obeyed and unjust laws that must be disobeyed. You express a great deal of anxiety over our willingness to break laws. One may well ask, how can you advocate breaking some laws and disobeying others? The answer lies in the fact that there are two types of laws, just and unjust. I would be the first to advocate obeying just laws. One has not only a legal but moral responsibility to obey just laws. Conversely, one has a moral
Alexa, thank you.
responsibility to disobey unjust laws. I would agree with St.
You guys are just tuning in. I apologize. My gimbal is something's wrong with it.
Yeah,
So
all these laws
hope it gets back to
are
normal.
unjust. Everything that these. Oh
Thought
my
I charged
God.
it last night, but I guess I failed to do that.
Shut up.
Hey, you see, like every
Ottawa.
time I ask somebody what
Peel.
they're thinking,
More peel.
and I know that they think differently than me, they don't want to talk about it. None of them do.
Thinking.
Yeah, but they think they're thinking because they're being told what to think.
Yeah, they're being fed, and yeah, they're not planting their own seed. They don't do personal development. They're not doing independent research.
None of it. None
They're
of
just
it.
consuming, and then they formulate an opinion, right? But it's not theirs.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
an opinion about an opinion.
Yeah, they just spout talking points that they've overheard, and they don't actually.
There's no critical thinking.
None
right.
whatsoever.
I think
There's
that's the
no
end of it.
critical thinking by anybody.
I'm going to
There's
cut off the live
people
stream.
that actually still think that Joe Biden
you
is
all for
doing a
tuning
good
in.
job.
Thank you for the super
And,
chats. I
and
very much appreciate
it
it.
blows my mind that that's a real thing. That is an absolute real thing. And what's crazy is I just went to Kroger, right, just to pick up a couple of cases of water,
All right.
some noodles, like just
And
stuff
we're
that
here in East
can
Ottawa
last
live.
a while, because I know
Day
what is
24 of the
coming is
protest.
not going to be good, and we're not going to be able to get it.
Thank
But
you guys for tuning in. Sorry it was a short one.
and,
Sorry, my
like
gimbal wasn't
when
working.
you ask these people, what are you thinking, and they're like, Joe Biden's doing good, and then you go to
you for the super
Kroger
chats. They're very much
and you
appreciated.
see that a pound, one pound of hamburger
keep you
meat,
with me for a little
1
bit
pound of
longer
hamburger
until I
meat
pass these
is almost
police up ahead.
$7. It's going to
But
get
thank you.
real bad real soon, and
So
people
reminder,
don't see
add a
it yet.
secondary YouTube.
Yeah,
just in
the
case.
national average is
Maybe I'll put some personal
354.
stuff on there,
Like
who knows?
I'm in Texas, right?
It is Agent
And
613.
in Texas, usually,
Agent
we're all about our
613.
own stuff.
All
We're all about
lowercase,
doing our own
no
thing. Let me
spaces.
find this. I'll put it on the camera too. Of
Feel free to
what the
give that channel a
net.
sub.
Oh, and
not. That's your choice.
secretly, the government has printed another $100 billion this weekend. We have actually more than that. It's almost $110 billion, because we were at
just
30 trillion, 30
a guy with a
billion,
camera.
and then some, the rest
This is a
of
walking
the change
channel.
there. We
What
are
I've done
now
for the
at
last year and a
30
half.
billion, 140,
And I'll
or
continue
30
to do so
trillion,
after all this is
140
over.
billion
It'll
dollars.
be my absolute
I'll
pleasure
put that right on the screen right here.
to bring you along.
You
for
think
my
that we're not
future
headed
journeys
into
and
a
adventures.
a depression, the Great Reset? I don't know if anybody's watching it, but I'm looking at it right now. We were printing $1 billion a day.
Not sure if
$1
I
billion
will
a day we were going
be
into
back
debt.
tomorrow downtown or here.
And
or
we're
what.
sitting here worrying about a fucking
Maybe go to
diaper
Quebec
on our
City,
face.
Who knows? I
Here,
don't want to promise
here's
anything.
a good one.
But,
Let's go to the Fed. Here you go. You don't think
Could probably make it
that is a
happen.
problem? Oh, you can't really see. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. You don't think that's a problem?
we'll see. We'll see.
Look at that. That is in just this year. Just this year. We have. It's insane. In fucking insane. The amount of money that we have printed. And I've debated
gonna
people.
cut the live
This
stream
is
off
my
at the Best
major.
Buy.
My major is economics and finance.
Maybe even go inside and see if they have a gimbal.
And
for
I
sale.
had one of my buddies who, of course, because when you tell them they're wrong, they block you, and because they're right. So I had him tell me and go, what do you think inflation is? He goes, well, when the money supply in a digital and
Completely
real
blocked
currency is it's the same. That's not really inflation. And I asked him if he knows how
You're trying to get to Vanier
how
Parkway.
banks
I suggest
create
taking
money.
Donald Street.
They just create
or
money, and the Federal
other streets
Reserve
in Overbrook.
just creates
Queen
money.
Mary, I believe.
And people sit there and they're like, "Well,
Exits.
I'm like, you can't go to a bank and take all your money out. If everybody in the United States went to their bank and said, "Hey, give me my cash," you can't do it because they don't have it. Everything's digital, but anyways, the banks create money, right? You give the bank $100. The bank can turn around and they can loan out 90% of that money. So, of that $100 that you gave them to keep in there for your savings, right? $90 of that can go to somebody else. And then
right,
so
everyone.
now the bank only has $10.
round it off right here.
But now they're working on the interest of that $90, which is creating
So,
money. And
thank you
people
guys for
don't
tuning
get
in.
that. People
Sorry
don't
for the lack of
understand
gimbal.
that
Sorry
like the
for
banking system is
the
the
short
failure.
stream.
The fiat
gonna
money
take a-
system
hang on.
is the failure
I was gonna take a day off.
of all.
but,
Fiat money is a
let's
failure.
see
Fiat money
what's happening
in
over
every
here.
single
So,
country
thanks,
has
guys.
failed. And
We'll see what I do tomorrow. Still not sure. Anyways, love you guys.
exactly,
Peace.
it just
I
keep.
think they're going to create a crypto.
They're trying to. They're trying to make a digital asset. Oh, I think he's done.
That's about the only way that they can control crypto.
Oh, yep, he's done. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to find a new live here to go onto this stuff. But yeah, they're trying to create a new sort of money.
The World Economic Forum is calling it the Great Reset. They're not shying away from it.
They are not. They're not hiding that
It's in
one
our
bit.
faces, and they don't care what you think about it.
No. No, not at all. I forget what I was looking up on my phone. Oh, the gas prices. That's it.
Yes.
So here you go. Here's your gas prices for today. The current, well, I'm looking at, let's go to the national. So the current national average is $3.51. A year ago, it was $2.62. A year prior to that, it was under $2. Under $2. We've created a catastrophe, absolute catastrophe with this economic reset, this killing. This isn't capitalism. This is destroying.
It's over. This part that I read right here. It says, vertical structures, the corporate model of a CEO sitting atop a pyramid of subordinates, are not fluid enough to adapt to the speed of our changing world. They stifle innovation because one individual's ego at the top matters more than the collective's interconnected will to flourish regardless of who came up with a good idea. This says, Graeber calls this the flying car paradox. Why is it that for several decades since the mid-20th century, advanced countries have been promising flying cars in the near future, and yet no flying cars? Or look at the numerous other promises about the future that have not been kept. A cure for cancer, or human colonization of Mars, or tractor beams. Graeber wonders, where are all the technological wonders any child growing up in the mid to late 20th century assumed would exist by now? Graeber's point is that capitalism is incapable of delivering upon these utopian promises, not because they are impossible for humans to achieve, but because capitalism can't deliver them without overturning its hierarchical essence. Corporate capitalism is incapable of fulfilling its own dreams, and as a result, the nightmare grows.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily capitalism that's the problem. It's the hierarchical essence of corporate capitalism.
It's the oligarchs.
Yes, exactly. The monopolization, which it really started with the overtaking of the education structure by Rockefeller.
Here, perfect example, and nobody's watching, is right here. I don't know where this is. This is this is from today. This is earlier today. This isn't live. But these trucks are still in Ottawa. These trucks are still in Quebec. It's man, it gets me agitated. Like seeing that I'm here and I can't do anything to help these people. We need to get this word out that the Canadian Revolution hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. That the United Nations are in there, and they are the ones that are basically destroying Canada's way of life. Because the lady that is just under Trudeau, like his assistant or whatever, is Klaus Schwab. Is his second in command, and people don't know that. People don't know. Let me find her name. We're gonna go on Twitter for anybody that's watching. I don't even know anybody that isn't. We're gonna go to Jack Posobiec.
Dude, this book was written in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh! I wanted to go to his thing. So, all right. So Jack Posobiec, right? He's been on this. He is a former Navy intel. So it was cool when Justin Trudeau took a knee against police brutality, and then his police horses, trample their people and beat the hell out of their own citizens. This is okay. This is okay. Blackface Hitler, you goddamn devil. I'm sounding like Alex Jones right here, but he's a goddamn devil. But here we go. This is
Here for all you truckers out there that want to do a convoy in the United States. I'm all for that, but I'm going to tell you a better way. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to burn $1 worth of diesel fuel. You shut them trucks off. Those people, once things stop moving into New York City, they only have a 3-day supply of goods in New York City. That is a absolute 100% fact. The minute you shut those trucks off, 4 days later, people will be screaming at their congressmen to get.
When people are hungry is when violence and uprisings happen. When people are hungry. And there you go. This lady right here, we need to shout out. Candy Cero. She's the one that got trampled by the horses in Canada. Learn her name. Learn her name. And then you got these people. These are the UN cops beating the hell out of the what I would call, and I wouldn't call them a protester. I call them freedom fighters. They're fighting for their freedom.
They're peacefully fighting though.
Yeah. Yeah. And these guys are coming in, they're stepping on the flag. These guys in green are the UN. They're the part of the United Nations. They are not part of Canada. They are not part of the Canadian military. They're part of the United Nations. And this needs to be put on here too. Why Canada will become a dictatorship under Castro, basically Justin Castro. Written December 12th, 2014. The leader of that party does what he wants, when he wants, and no one dares question him. Would a Prime Minister Trudeau arbitrarily whip the vote and outlaw certain moral questions? Could Prime Minister Trudeau be trusted to make decisions for the good of the country, not just for his personal self-worth? Would Trudeau call in the police to enforce his vision? Let's hope we never have to question these. And what are we doing right now?
Find out on the next episode of what the hell's going on.
Yeah. What in the hell's going on? And I don't know who this Majid Nawaz, sorry, Majid, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but this is going on the internet. But my man here is telling people that these people are infiltrating every sort of government. And the Chinese have done this as well. They have infiltrated every part of the United States government. Every level, all the way down to your city council, there's some sort of Chinese operative in there. And you can look no further than Eric Swalwell. Fuck you, Eric Swalwell. You piece of shit. You fucking commie bastard. Come at me. You won't. But fucking, Eric Swalwell's a piece of shit. Fucking Beto O'Rourke. Come and take it. You won't.
Hey, I got something to tell you later, but I'm not going to say it while you're streaming.
I'm about to turn this stream off because I can't find anybody that's live streaming.
It's from me.